What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Zero to Infinity for episode 44. In this episode, I'll be going over some of my thoughts on Nikola Corporation now that it's trading under its new ticker symbol, NKLA stock, and I'll be comparing it to Tesla or TSLA stock. At the end of the episode, as I always do, I'll do a quick update with one of my stock portfolios that I've been documenting since the start of the year. Yes, I was buying stocks during the 2020 stock market crash earlier in the year. Sometimes that's the best time to invest in stocks, in my opinion. My goal is to constantly grow my stock portfolio from zero to infinity since there's no limit to how high it will go. If you have the same goal of building your own stock portfolio as high as possible and as quick as possible, then feel free to subscribe. It looks like a lot of you have been adding to the subscriber count these past couple of episodes. We gained almost 170 new subscribers since the last episode, going over my top growth stocks for June 2020. Mr. Zero to Infinity is excited to see how high the subscription counter will go on this one. So let's get straight to it. Nikola Tesla has been a famous name in history, and there's now a battle going on. Nikola versus Tesla, since VectoIQ or VTIQ stock just merged and is trading under NKLA stock. Keep this in mind, I've listened to a lot of podcasts and interviews, and supposedly the pronunciation is Nikola versus Nikola. So Nikola Motor Company has definitely been a popular name recently. You can even label it as a hype stock. Pretty similar to Virgin Galactic Holdings, SPCE stock, and Draftings, DKNG stock as of late. Since my other two VTIQ stock videos got a lot of views, it looks like a lot of people like the simplistic method of having a blank screen as I discuss my thoughts. So let's go with that format again and go over my thoughts and opinions of figuring out which stock is better. So once again, Nikola Tesla, let's put Nikola stock on the left and Tesla stock on the right. In the middle, I'll discuss a few similarities between each stock, and then under Nikola Corporation and Tesla Inc., I'll discuss some differences. Before I get into it, always remember that all my episodes are for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. My thoughts, opinions, and commentary of finding the latest trends to build wealth in the stock market will not meet your own unique goals. For that reason, always do your own research and due diligence and never rely on my information in any of my videos. Always do your own fact checking, and that goes for any videos you watch online. Let's start with a big difference. Tesla's CEO is Elon Musk. If you heard of him before, then click that like button. I'm interested to see how many Tesla fans are watching this very video. So I won't go into detail on Elon's background. We all know who he is. Nikola's founder is Trevor Milton, and Mark Russell will succeed Milton as CEO. For this episode, I'll just highlight Milton since I haven't looked into Mark Russell's resume, interviews, and podcasts to get an idea of his leadership style. Trevor Milton has a unique story of starting in his basement, finding investors, and growing the Nikola brand, and finding supporting team members to grow the company to what it is today. He's clearly a Twitter guy, and he's very excited to see Nikola Motor Company to finally hit the market and see it trade on the NASDAQ. Imagine you created a brand in your basement and it's now a publicly traded company. Sure, he will get paid, but that's not an easy feat to accomplish. There are so many companies that fail, and it's amazing to see what Trevor built up to this point, and that leads me to my next point. Nikola is just hitting the stock market as a new company, whereas Tesla has been trading as TSLA stock since it IPO'd and went public back in 2010, originally issued to the public for $17 per share. So looking back, Tesla has 10 years of stock price history. When you're on the stock market for 10 plus years, you get to see the technicals, also known as the stock charts, build support levels at certain prices. If you've been following my investing principles over the last 43 episodes, you already know I like to build my stock positions over long periods of time since, like everyone else on this planet, we have our own unique cash flow number each month, also known as our savings rate. This means at the end of the month, I have money to go out for my monthly expenses, and I have money that comes in from my revenue sources. Each month will fluctuate in savings, so each month I have to decide when I will add to my stock positions. I personally like reviewing stock charts to spot trends and momentum. Right now, NKLA stock has no track record to go off of. Tesla has 10 plus years of reporting quarterly earnings, which includes plenty of financials to review to the growth and progress for the company. NKLA at this time doesn't have a track record for investors to find out if the Nikola management team is exceeding growth expectations or is missing on guidance. This is why a company's management team is so important to review when thinking about investing in stocks. Lots of beginner investors overlook the management team. Remember, the management team is responsible for the success of the company. You saw what happened with Luckin Coffee or LK stock when you have a poorly run company. Luckily, there's plenty of time to see how Nikola performs over these next couple of years. That leads me to some similarities between Nikola and Tesla. Nikola is being touted as the next Tesla because they are both in the auto manufacturing business. They both have that hype, that cool factor of having awesome looking trucks. Big difference is Tesla has a proven product of electric vehicles already on the roadways, whereas Nikola just has cool looking prototypes. Tesla has sales and earnings. Nikola doesn't. Based on my research, Nikola is being labeled as just a startup with a vision, unlike Tesla, which has factories all over the world already rolling out cars each day. Tesla has a working business model with infrastructure already in place. Have you seen Teslas driving around in your area? Have you seen those supercharger stations for electric charging? That leads me to a big difference. Yes, Nikola is entering the battery electric pickup truck space with the Nikola Badger to compete with the Tesla Cybertruck, but it also differentiates itself with hydrogen fuel cells. Trevor Milton's vision is to roll out hydrogen stations all around the world. Will that vision come to life? There's plenty of time to see how everything plays out. I know Elon Musk, based on old interviews, has been skeptical of hydrogen as a power source, tweeting, "Success is simply not possible." To think Nikola is going to stop building on their vision because of one person's opinion, if it's Elon Musk's opinion, is pointless to think about. No one has a crystal ball if Nikola will be successful or not. All we could do is make educated predictions based on facts and logic. All I know is that Nikola and Tesla are in an industry that is trending at this time. Yes, Tesla has had a solid head start, but competitors will continue to jump in and try to compete with the big boys. You see that with NIO stock and Rivian, to name a few other names trying to enter the market. Interesting enough, I personally think you will have a percentage of Tesla fans that will root for Nikola's success and another percentage that will be Nikola haters. How high those percentages will be are unknown, but I do know that VTIQ stock was soaring to high levels prior to the Nikola merger because of the excitement surrounding the buzzwords of being the next Tesla based in the United States, unlike NIO. Those buzzwords bring on hype in a sector that just keeps on growing. I personally believe there's plenty of room for competitors to start rolling out new electric vehicles with unique exterior looks. Remember, people have preferences over the cars they drive. Not everyone will love the look of Tesla's product line, and not everyone will love the look of Nikola's product line. The whole goal of my investing approach is trying to find out if a product or service will continue to be popular for years and not just months as the market ticks by each week. I know for me, I'll be following NKLA stock closely. I prefer a wait and see approach with expected high market volatility over the next few weeks and months. Remember, there should never be a rush to enter a position in any stock without fully researching the backstory and following the future story as the weeks go by. Nikola is still a TBD in my book, or to be determined. Just everyone out there, be very careful with trading Nikola. If Nikola continues to go up, that's fine with me. If it sells off, I may get itchy. I would not be surprised if I eventually start building a position in Nikola stock or Tesla stock once my bull thesis hits 100% and I have a goal and time horizon on my investment. If I needed to make a decision of which stock is the better buy right now, I'd go with a proven track record in Tesla versus speculative play in Nikola. There's a lot of traders in Nikola stock, and that can cause huge upswings and downswings since it's a very exciting stock that has some awesome looking semi-trucks. You may think there's limited upside with Tesla since it's already over $100 billion market cap right now, but I guess you haven't been reading other analyst price targets. There's a major tech story outside of being an electric automaker, electric battery company, and a solar company. I have yet to buy Tesla stock in my YouTube portfolio, but it's been on my research board for quite some time. I'm just waiting for my mind to make the buy order when the time is right. There's a lot going on right now in the overall stock market, and I'm not at a point where I want a large percentage of my stock portfolio to be in an industry that may struggle if there's another downturn. I like my stocks in my portfolio better at this time. Let me know your thoughts. Which stock do you think is a better buy? NKLA stock or TSLA stock? I may have to do another episode and go over a few highlights from the comments section on this one. For this episode, I only went over a few simplistic thoughts about these two stocks. Tons of info is in my notes to go over for future videos. To wrap up, as promised, let's pull up my stock portfolio on the screen. Remember, this isn't your portfolio. I'm just documenting one of my stock portfolios here on YouTube. I started this channel since I've always been passionate about investing in companies and researching trends as the weeks go by. The stock market is constantly changing, so I try to follow my personal investing strategies. At the time I took this screenshot, my stock portfolio was a little over $6,600. Looking back to the very first episode, it's exciting to start seeing the stock portfolio produce higher and higher gains. Luckily, we're just getting started. I'm sure when we look back on this episode, $6,600 will seem like such a small number. I have yet to sell any of my stocks up to this point. I've just been building positions in stocks that I feel are growth stocks that have a competitive advantage to grow for a long period of time. Fiverr International seems to just want to go up. Apple has been a steady large cap stock. Penn stock had a huge sell-off and is now a position that is finally in the green. Starbucks pays a nice dividend, and Square stock looks to be popping early. Luckily for me, any signs of a pullback for any of my stock holdings are fine by me since the stock portfolio is still very small. The lower my cost basis, the better. It will be interesting to see where the stock market goes next. We may be due for a correction, but you never know when it will happen. Stocks don't just go up, they go sideways and down as well. Which stock will I buy next? You'll have to tune in for future episodes to find out. Let's end it there. Play the music. Maybe I didn't earn your subscription with this episode, but there's always next episode. It's free to subscribe, and a couple of my favorite comments from last episode are on your screen. Feel free to click on some of my earlier episodes if you enjoyed this video. Instagram is Mr. Zero to Infinity, so make sure to join in early. Thanks again for watching. Let's keep building from zero to infinity. You got this. As always, this episode is not intended as investment advice. Do your own research prior to making any investments and do your own fact checking. Read the disclaimer on your screen fully. Remember, all opinions in this episode are mine and mine alone. I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Never rely on any of my information when making investment decisions.